Howdy guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering, and today I want to show you guys something that very few people understand how easy it is if you know how to do it. It's flashing details. This is an easy piece right here. This is the brick, and of course they have gaps in here. The gaps are humongous. How many tubes of caulking does it look like I've used? Well, Bill, I think I've used about 8 tubes, and if I need more, I'll use more, because you don't want water going in there. Now, the fellow who owns the place, he said, gee, Kirk, some guys told me they were going to put the flash in here and roll it around. I said, you know, it's going to look goofy. You want it so that the flashing is almost covered, and you want it to keep the rain out. When it rains right here, you want a bead of caulking under so it doesn't go under here and go down in there and rot out that mud sill. So here's what we're going to do. Bill, grab that piece there. And we're just going to squish it down like that. And why do I want to squish it down? Because if you squish it down like that, it kind of pushes it away, and it'll accept a staple.
Can you come to me an inch first? A half inch?
A half inch. You got it, buddy. Cool?
Keep coming.
All right.
The whole piece. Oh, it's all right, I guess.
Cool beans. All right. So, boom. We'll put a staple there. And staple here. And that's how easy this is, guys. There's nothing to it. You don't need lead flashing because somebody came and said, dude, you need lead flashing. You don't. You don't need lead flashing. You don't need a lot of that weird stuff. Just a simple L flashing. A Z flashing obviously would go over the curve, and that would look kind of goofy. So what we're going to do now is just finish putting this other piece on. And all we want to do, guys, is we want to squish this stuff in there so that it comes out. That way, if it pours down rain, this is good. I mean, it shows, and the fellow might say, hey, that looks ugly, man. A little bit of caulking showing. But trust me, you'd rather have a little bit of caulking showing than water getting in there. And now, guys, you take the 2 layers of paper and just put it down on it, and you put the wire over it. And by the way, guys, one of you guys might notice this stuff if you watch what we do. You'll say, well, gee, Kirk, how come you didn't put a weep screed there or a drip screed? Well, this is going to get painted anyhow. But if I had a weep or a drip, it has holes in it. And we don't want water going in here. That's the whole idea. I just used about 6-8 tubes of caulking. And guess what, guys? If you need more, use it. And I recommend you use a Sikaflex or a Moist Stop. It's a liquid flashing. And by the way, too, guys, you may not have noticed this. Bill, you're right there in the way. Yeah, this stuff here, this is Moist Stop. It's liquid flashing. It's good stuff. It's a polyurethane. It's sort of like the Sikaflex. The Sikaflex 1A. It's strong stuff. Like 4 drops, you can't even pull the bricks apart. But if it gets on you, man, that stuff is nasty. It's really hard to get off. Don't get it on you. Anyway, I was looking at it. I said, dude, because I looked at it over online. You guys want to do your own lath? Cool. Call us. We'll do the mud work. So I came over here and I said, man, somebody used some 20 gauge wire. And he says, I heard that was the wrong wire. I said, yeah, you heard right, man. It is the wrong wire. It's for chicken coops. And yeah, I used to have chickens, and we use this 20 gauge. And it could also be used for, say, bathroom tile, kitchen counter tile, 20 gauge. But for a wall, it's not good. So I called the guy. I said, dude, I'll tell you what. I've got lath on my truck. It's like $70 a raw. I said, give me 170 bucks. I'll re-lath everything. It's basically $100 because I'm already here, and the lath is like 70 bucks. So what we're doing too is just double lathing it. And so it's better to double lath it, guys, than take a chance with this cheap stuff. And what will happen if you use the 20 gauge? Because when I was working union, that just means I was working with a whole bunch of people. And we were in a shop. It was a union shop. What would happen if you used a 20 gauge? Well, there was guys saving money, and they were buying the 20 gauge all the time. And the 20 gauge down the road will crack like an egg. So use the good stuff. Kind of like dobies when you're doing concrete. Put the cement under and above it. Put the steel in the middle. So this right here is self-furred wire. And so the stucco goes under and over. It's less likely to crack, guys. This is what I really wanted to show you because he had a whole lot of solutions for this. And I came and I looked at it and I thought, man, piece of cake. However you want to do it, we can do it. And he says, well, one guy suggests we use a straight flash or a really good polyurethane type of adhesive. I said, nope, you can't do that. This cannot be exposed, guys. It cannot be exposed to the sun. Another guy said, well, how about we just use some roll flashing, this tin. The stapler will go through this stuff. And he suggested that you put the tin. Now notice you got a gauge here. It comes out. It's kind of weird, but hey, that's construction for you. They wanted to put the tin here and come down here, so it kind of look. It would look half-assed and like a amateur did it. So I suggested to him. I said, look, man, I got so much flashing on my truck because, I mean, I always have everything on my truck. If I didn't have the wire on my truck, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I hate going to a material yard. I think I've been to a material yard twice in 30 years when I'm on a job to get something. I always have it on my truck, guys. Show that monster truck just for a second. You name it, it is on there. Anyhow, getting away from that, I said, look, man, I'll tell you what I would do if it's my house, but I'll let you make the call. If you want me to use this flashing, it'll look goofy, but I can do it. I said, I'll just take a Z flashing. I got so many Z flashings, guys. And what I'll do right here, because the rest of this ain't too beat up. And another solution for the fellow was, use this expanding foam. That stuff's good, just don't get it on you. It's toxic, man. That stuff is worse than Sikaflex. Anyway, I'm gonna pull one nail out and show you something, guys. Can't pull it out, put it in. Okay, you take a Z flashing and you just bend it. Now here's what I told him. I said, look, 1 second there, Bill. Okay, if you do this, guys, what happens if you put a weep, see the weep screed is supposed to go all the way down here. What happens, you say, well, I'm gonna be clever and I'm just gonna hang it just by a bare inch like that. Well, when the wire goes on here, because there's nothing back here, you hit this with a lawnmower or anything, it's just gonna crack, Stucco's gonna pop right off. So we wanna put it where it belongs. And where does it belong? It belongs usually about 1 inch to 2 inch max below the plywood. That's to keep the plywood and the mud seal clean and happy and dry so it doesn't rot out. But I just made this up right here. It took me like 5 minutes. So let's see how it goes on there. We just put it on like so, all the way to the end, Bill. Thank you, my friend. Okay. Now we get that piece on. Now that's protecting the wood. That's protecting the wood down here. And it doesn't look as ridiculous as, say, curved flashing wood. All right, now that we got that done, let me get it over here a little bit. Get on there, guy. All right, now that's not going to show. Now what we want to do is counter this flashing. So that piece of wood is protected. Now this piece of weep screed or drip screed, the same thing, guys. Water drips through these. If you have a painted house, it doesn't matter. Water does not need to come out of here because the house is painted. Those are for maintenance-free finishes that, like a brick, or say like this stone. When this stone gets wet, it darkens. And when it darkens, when drier conditions occur, it lightens. That's why it will last 1,000 years. It's maintenance-free. Some houses have maintenance-free finishes on them, and that's why they use these weep screeds. Water goes through them, and then when drier conditions occur, it leaches out. Usually gravity pulls it out through the weep holes. It could just leach out through the walls too. Okay, now what we have is the weep screed, and here's a good idea too, guys. Always put a weep screed at the bottom of a sill if possible. Okay, here's the sill. So if it's at the bottom, it looks cleaner. Now let's see. Drop that down a hair, Bill.
To you or me?
To the ground. A little bit more. A little bit more. Beautiful. A tad bit more. All right, now there you go, guys. Okay, Wear glasses and goggles and all that safety stuff when you do this, guys. Me, I've been doing it for 40 years, so I'm half dead anyway, so I don't worry about it. Anyway, you take the 2 layers of paper, you come back down on top of this, and if it ain't long enough, guys, put another piece under it. Put another piece under it, and what we're getting ready to do is put some more of this 17 gauge over here too, because this 20, it's not worth trying to save 70 bucks, guys. Don't do it. Anyway, there's a few other things that we're doing here, but what I was trying to point out, guys, is so many people say, and they call me and say, Kirk, what kind of flashing could I use below the grade? And we actually have a whole bunch of videos where I show how to do it below the grade, above the grade, where the cement's sticking out. You name it, we can do it. And guess what? You guys can do it too. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get some flashings. Get like 5 different pieces. Experiment with it. I mean, what's this? $8 to save a mud sill that can cost you $1,000. That's pretty cheap, guys. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out because we have the opportunity here, and so many of you guys say, gee, how do you do this stuff? Any which way you want, as long as it works, guys, and you keep that mud sill dry. All right, guys, we are complete. We figured we'd show you everything afterwards. All the flashing detail is fixed. All it takes is the ability to improvise. Every job, you've got to improvise. Even Jason, he cut this vent in half because that's what they had, but instead of the regular vent, he put a louvler so that the rain doesn't get in it. And there's the final project, the repair. Again, like I say, you guys want to do your own paper wire, call us. We'll be happy to do the cement work. I'll tell you too, we'll even video it so you can see we're doing it right. The reason I say that, I have an electrician at my house and a carpenter doing some things on my own property. These guys suck. I got to be there to babysit them night and day. They're at Home Depot most of the time, so you call us. We'll get it done right. Bill, what up, buddy? Okay, my buddy Bill. As usual, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
By the way, folks, my dad and I are now members of Amazon affiliates, so if you're looking to buy any of the plastering or construction tools you've seen in our videos and you want to support us in the process, you can check the links below our video, or you can go to our website and get them there. If you have any other questions for tools we don't have linked, email us direct and we'll respond to you then.
Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.